My name's GuykesTV, and for the past 21 years I've been a professional bike tester. And today I'm at the top of the very blustery Coldstones Cut Quarry on Greenow on the top of the Yorkshire Dales. Because the bike I'm testing is a bike that's cut out for taking on the whole panorama of riding that you can imagine. It's the Merida Silex 9000. Top of the range gravel bike. There are 5 Silexes sold in the UK, a few more in Europe, 3 alloy models and 2 carbon models in the UK. This is the very top of the range one with a SRAM force transmission and this really well thought out CF2 carbon frame. Now the main feature of the Silex is this really long head tube. Rather than going for a ton of spaces to get a taller, more comfortable fit for all-round riding, Merida have gone for this really long head tube to keep the integrity and the stiffness of the tapered steerer and the frame. So it's a really tight tracking frame. Chunky fork top there, which will take either, I mean this is only a 35C tyre in here, but it'll take a 42mm 700C tyre or a 2.2 inch 650B tyre if you want to go road plus. And there's some really nice detailing on this frame. We've got the smart entry ports there for the disc and gear cables, but they can also be reconfigured to take DI2. You've got variable bottle positions there on the down tube bottle, another bottle cage set there, and a third set under the down tube. As you can see, it's got a front mount there if you need it. There's only one UK bike that's brought in with a double chain set, the bottom of the range Silex 300, but the Continental bikes, there's Ultegra options as well. Neatly moulded chainstays with the internal cable routing coming out there. You've got that big 1042 cassette, so you've got gears to take on all sorts of situations. The F-guards there for the mud guards. And as you can see, it's a really cleverly profiled frame. You've got these really sharp edges running along the top tube and then down into these seat stays. So laterally, it's a really stiff and accurate frame. But in terms of torsion, in terms of that vertical compliance, that old cliche, it's actually a really subtle and comfortable frame. Really neat, integrated wedge there for the seat. And this top of the range model comes with this S-Flex Team carbon seat post. So it's quite a large diameter seat post, so it will support the strain of a seat pack well, but it's got that little cutout in the back, which lets it sway backwards and forwards to take some of the sting out of the ride. Back up front again, another real key feature of this Silex is, as well as being long in the top tube, a really short stem, just to keep that 71-degree head angle nice and lively. Coming over to the other side of the bike, you can really see the way that fork tapers away down to this little flat mount and the 160mm rotor there. It's 160mm at the front and 160mm at the rear. And if you're wondering what that is, that's Merida's unique disc cooler fins. Cold forged, basically radiator fins to pull heat away from the caliper and pull heat away from the disc. So you're much less likely to get into a situation when the brake's overheating, even on really long descents when you're loaded. And it's a nanomatrix carbon used for this top of the range bike, which means there's a ton of really tiny particles within the resin, which actually makes the whole fibre mix stronger. And they've got a unique Maxxis Razzo tyre fitted to the Silex. As you can see, the slick centre, very slight file tread on the outside, and then right on the shoulder. If you're brave enough to get that far, there is a fair amount of purchase. But obviously if you lower the pressure, those size knobs rise up in the mix, so you get a bit more grip that way as well. And interestingly, Merida have spec'd a full-on mountain bike rim. That's a Fulcrum Red Passion 3 wheel set. It's a really light wheel, around 1500 grams for this version. It's tubeless ready, so you don't have to worry about inner tubes, which of course reduces the chance of you puncturing and also gives a more fluid, buoyant ride. They're cut out between the spoke holes and they're only 60mm deep, so they're a really pliable, flexible rim in terms of ride quality. And again, that is one of the most outstanding aspects of the Silex, is just how smooth it feels when you hit rougher terrain. And that's despite this big press fit bottom bracket and these deep chainstays here, which put a lot of power through the bike. I mean, it's no slouch. Even with all these features, the extra bottle cages and the heat sink here, the frame is just over 1,000 grams, 1050 to be exact. And that's a 500 gram fork up front. So, anyway, that's the quick talk around done. Let's jump on it and ride it. It's on a mixture of trails in a very windy Yorkshire Dales. You know, as this was a bike I hadn't tested for a magazine or a website previously, You know, obviously I had to ride it a fair bit just to check it was good enough for a best bikes in the world video. And the really distinctive thing about it is this ride position. This tall upright head tube, which means you get maximum use out of the drops. And that 71-degree head angle gives the stability you need, whether you're riding around an artwork or thrashing down road sections. And yet, at just over 8 kilos for the bike, it really flies when you want to put the power down. And of course it's got that big tyre capability, not quite as big as those tyres, but it can take on some properly technical sections, you know, mountain bike styley stuff with a great degree of confidence. Because as well as having that slight stability in the head there, these red passion wheels and the Silex frame really do screen out a remarkable lot of vibration. This is a relatively skinny tyre compared to what it can take. 42mm 700C, 2.2 inch 650B. So it could actually run a lot smoother than it is now. Those 160mm rotors there mean plenty of stopping power, whatever the weather. And they might be categorised as mountain bike wheels, but at 1500 grams, these red passions are lighter than pretty much any disc road wheel you can buy. And that liveliness is really evident in how well this bike accelerates. Such a great blend of speed and smoothness. It really is. And if you want to take it off on a bit of cheeky bridleway, bit of single track, then it's more than game for that as well. You can see that 80mm stem, really nimble there. It's surprising how well these little Razzo tyres do cope. Like I say, if you lower the pressure, or if the ground's soft, then those side knobs dig in, get a fair amount of purchase. And Merida producing some superb bikes across pretty much every category. You've got nibbly winning classic and grand tours on the Sculptura and Reacto, trail bikes, enduro bikes, e-bikes, and the way this Silex melts away the rougher section of gravel is absolutely remarkable. It's so smooth and so controlled and sure-footed. Even when you're pushing on like this, there's very little vibration getting through. And while it works out here on rough farm tracks in the Dales, it'll work equally well if you've got a rough commute, or you're towpathing, or you're just exploring somewhere a bit rougher in the urban landscape. Because let's face it, some city roads now are as brutal as anything you used to find on a mountain bike course. And these Razzo tyres are rapid. You can hear the 160mm rotors there biting off the speed as you're coming in. And that 71-degree head angle means you can properly push on the road as well. However rough or sketchy the descents get, this is a beauty! Yes, Merida! Oh, it's a match for anything I've found on it today. It really is. What a superb bike! Absolute belter! Oh. Merida Silex 9000. What a fantastic machine! Gravel is so many different things to so many different people. And this bike tackles them all in such a controlled and refined fashion, but still with that lightness to really push on if you need it to. No wonder it's been getting such good reviews all over the place. I'll definitely throw my hat into that ring. Definitely one of the best in its category.